Good morning. It's very early, but I slept well and it wasn't a bad pitch. That was my pitch. Leave no trace. And the way ahead is down that way. So it's 5:45 and I'm off and rolling already. I think actually I was camped in some private land there, and I was half expecting an oi, get off my land, you know, but thankfully that didn't come. So I was keen to get up and go this morning. Nice gentle downhill first thing. I'm feeling all right actually. My legs don't ache and my feet good, not a blemish on them. Obviously a bit fatigued, a bit achy, but not much, and that'll wear off as I get into this morning. So ready for another day. Someone else camping down there. This is a sheep pasture though. This is Loch Laggan. It's beautiful. Cuckoo. First look down onto the reservoir that I've been walking alongside for a few miles. The water looks very low. I'm through the forestry section back there. That was 6 miles. Not bad, but now I'm looking forward to some open views and some open countryside, and just a mile or two from here up to Loch Laggan. That's 9 miles, and here's Loch Laggan, a beauty, and it's time for second breakfast. You could definitely wild camp here. There's lots of places over there and around this side, on the grass or on the beach. Beautiful. Bit nippy now with the wind in my face, but the path follows this track for the whole length of Loch Laggan, and I've been looking forward to this section. that's my kind of seat. It's time for another break. That was the king of breaks on that rock. I took my shoes and socks off and aired my feet out and washed my hands and face and cleaned my teeth and had a break and put some extra water through the filter, and I did a load of housekeeping, and the sun came out and the rock was warm and everything's dry, so they don't come along like that very often, do they? Well, here's another marker post, but it says go left, but then there's two lefts, but it's the one that's sort of straight ahead left rather than down there. Don't go down there, it's straight ahead. First view of the loch for a couple of hours, and that's the north end, so we're coming down to meet it. Back down to the river now, and I thought actually we were going to see the north end of the loch and that sandy beach, but no, the way doesn't actually go past that, it bypasses it. I saw a guy do a video where he camped on that north beach, the sandy one, and but he must have taken a detour to the left off the track. Anyway, I think we're coming to the end of the forestry section, and to be honest, I'm pleased that it's come to an end. I think I said earlier I don't mind it, but I've just reckoned it up and I think it's 23 miles of forestry. It's a road basically, it's not a track, it's a road, and my feet are a bit sore, but anyway, hopefully the last few miles will change and give us a bit of something different. Let's see. So I've reached Fiega and I've just come down there and the road, and you cross the road to the left up this track. There's nothing at Fiega, by the way, there's a few houses, that's it. I've done over 19 miles now, so I'm looking for a camping spot now, so let's hope we've got a few to choose from. Up here. Completely different feel now, into a wood or even a forest. Good view. Okay, well it's about 6 o'clock. And I've done over 20 miles now, so it's about a mile and a half down to through the forest I can see ahead, down to the road, and there's some grassy areas down there. I'm not sure what they are, but I'm going to try and get down there, so fingers crossed. Through that forest over there. So the forestry section continued as it has done all day, and I was just coming to the end of it, and that's just down there, and I noticed this green grassy area up this track, Land Rover muddy track, and look where I've pitched. It's like somebody's garden. There's flowers and stuff, wildflowers, and I've looked around, there's no building or anything. Yeah, it's relatively flat, it's soft grass, it's dry, and I've fallen on my feet again. Right, map time. So that's where I pitched last night. Up early, down this road, over the river. There was another camper just pitched by the river there. But he's the only one I've seen all the time. So along the road to Loch Laggan, just there. where there were a few other camping spots, over some moorland to a parking place. It was the end of the road, and then down over the river, over the railway, and then up through and into the forestry section here. And that's where it began. This is where I had my break with a cup of coffee there, and then you through the gate and into the forestry section. Oh, and that's where it began, miles and miles and miles. It was okay to begin with, but after 20 miles or so it starts to, you know, wear a bit thin and your feet hurt. Anyway, that went on and on and on through. So over onto the next page. This is a full page spread, this one, so I better get a move on. So here's all the forestry section, which all looks very, very similar the whole way for many, many miles. You get a few little views out towards the reservoir. That was the one where I looked out there, and it was, I said the water was low just there, and then it goes on and eventually to the end and round and over a bridge and looping around. That was quite pleasant to come out of the trees, and then it rose up and over some more moorland and felled tree area and down to the beach. And what a beautiful place that would be to camp there. That's where I filtered some water and had some lunch there. And then it goes 3 or 4 miles all alongside Loch Laggan, and there are various different spaces you could camp along the way. I've just marked a couple. I can't really remember what they were like, but there we go. And then it turns uphill. This is where it turns uphill and inland, and you lose sight of the loch, and it comes up and it twists and turns, and there aren't many views. But oh, this little thing, that's where I had that stone bench break. That was really good, somewhere up there anyway. And then it goes down. It's a little bit confusing here because there's lots of roads and there are hardly any way markers. But anyway, I made my way because I've got GPS and the map. Along, it breaks out into the open for a little bit, then it goes into the trees again, over another bridge, along, and then skirting the side of the hill and gradually descending down towards the loch again. Okay, onto the next page. So more forestry road and trees and felled areas, and then eventually down to the river level and along, and blessed relief through these finer dashed areas there on your feet, where it was just like turf instead of hard road. Round and round here. Patak Falls, that you can't see them from the way. You've got to get off the way and go down, and by the time you've realised it, you passed it, and because you've just done all those miles, you don't really feel like you want to go back. Down into Fiega, there's nothing there at all, it's just a few houses, and then up and round. That's quite flat for about a mile or about a mile. Then it starts to ascend here in another woodland up here. You can see it's crossing the contours. That's where that really great viewpoint was. I put those markings in there. And then I carried on trying to get to Spey Dam. Now these were the areas I was thinking of, these little green areas down there. I had no idea what they were, but anyway, it was just I think another 2 miles or so to Laggan, and I was starting to think, oh, I might have to slog along the road. But I'm just in where am I? I'm just around here somewhere, still in the forestry area, but only just. So that's where I'm pitched. 22 miles in all, following yesterday's 23 miles, so I know I've been working hard. Anyway, that's the end of day 2. See you tomorrow. Cuckoo.